Is the thought of hard work stopping you from accomplishing your creative goals? I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. Odds are it's this instead. Is there a creative pursuit that you have wanted so intensely to take on for a long time, but the overwhelm of hard work has served as a bit of a brick wall that you've smashed into over and over again? If so, I am so glad you're here, because there's a real good chance that hard work isn't actually the culprit. My name is Jenny Velarde. I'm a psychotherapist, and just as importantly, I'm an artist. Now, together we've explored common universal struggles that come up time and time again for artists. If you haven't seen that video, it's linked below. It's an important one to watch. One of the most common reasons I've heard over the years that stops creative people from taking on their dreams is the hard work associated with it, particularly in the beginning of the process. But here's where we are going to be radically honest with ourselves by asking the following questions. And we'll do it together because it may feel a little obnoxious at first, but I promise you there's freedom in it. Ask yourself, is this actually hard work, or is it just extremely uncomfortable work? Or even more to the point, moderately uncomfortable work? Or dare I say, just a bit unpleasant? Discomfort. More often than not, what we assume in our minds will be hard work, in actuality, is just uncomfortable work. In many ways, it's fair to say that the act of work itself is the act of accepting discomfort. Let's take it one step further. Making progress guarantees discomfort. The two go hand in hand. So let's break it down a little. Do you want to write a book or a script, but don't know where to start? Sitting down, opening up that empty Word document and beginning anyway will be uncomfortable. Do you want to build a website showcasing your craft, but don't know how? Learning how will be uncomfortable. Do you want to audition, but you don't have materials, so you are consistently letting opportunities pass you by? Hunting down those monologues that are a good fit for you will be an uncomfortable act. Let's say you've known the basics of a musical instrument, let's say the guitar, for years, but you haven't gotten past a handful of chords. Learning those new chord structures and practicing over and over again and building up those calluses on your fingertips will be uncomfortable. 100% guaranteed. Now, take it a step further. Guess what's not so uncomfortable? Watching Netflix, YouTube, scrolling through social media, playing video games, binging on porn, going down the rabbit hole of news feeds. It's a double whammy here, because when the thought of pursuing our creative work feels uncomfortable, we are able to convince ourselves that because it's a little too tough today and there is something else that is a heck of a lot more comfortable at the ready, we will just do that instead for now. Along with this, and even more deceivingly, we convince ourselves that we'll pick the comfortable thing today, but tomorrow or next week we'll choose differently. Now, what do we really know deep down? Odds are, at this rate, we won't. Now, for a moment, let's acknowledge wholeheartedly that some work is beyond simply uncomfortable. Some work is flat out hard. So maybe it's heavy labor work or civil servant work like teachers or first responders, caretaking work, perhaps heavy with vicarious trauma, work that literally has danger attached. So maybe serving on the front lines. Thank you so much to our men and women serving. Perhaps juggling multiple jobs to make ends meet. Hard work. But let's be forthright. That is probably not the type of work that we're talking about here when it comes to our creative goals and dreams being blocked over and over again. Odds are we are talking about the work that takes self-initiative to choose the unpleasant, uncomfortable act over the more rehearsed, comfortable one, like scrolling through Instagram again instead of just jumping into that project. So why is being honest about uncomfortable work so critical? Your vision, your creative voice, what you know deep down is your creative purpose, is being stopped short daily because of discomfort. If this indeed is a massive truth for you, please check out the procrastination system. I will put the link below. I developed it to walk you through every single step needed to entirely transform this very dynamic. In the meantime, here are 3 actionable takeaways. 1. The next time you convince yourself that you can't take something on because it's hard work, practice stopping yourself right there and asking yourself the radically honest question, is this actually hard work or just uncomfortable work? 2, once you've pinpointed discomfort, take on one uncomfortable act to make a little headway. So even when your overwhelmed feelings are doing everything that they can to convince you that there is just too much and it's impossible, it's not. Just pick one small, uncomfortable task to start with. And when you finish it, pick a second small, uncomfortable task and go from there. And 3, as we said, making progress guarantees there's going to be discomfort. So the next time that you're engaged in an uncomfortable task, rather than panicking and convincing yourself it's time to jump ship and turn on Hulu, celebrate your victory, because if the task that you're doing is uncomfortable, odds are you're making headway. It's a marker that you're on the right path. So equate uncomfortable work with progress. High five to you. Just remember, any type of creative pursuit will include some type of learning, expanding, and growing, and that by its very nature is uncomfortable. Now go and create. You were created to. Now here's the thing about procrastination. With the right tools, it can be our greatest helper. Without the right tools, it will take us down, shamelessly stealing days, months, years, and even decades from us. And it doesn't stop on its own. The procrastination system, 6 hours, 5 segments, 20 chapters, custom-built tools and concepts reinforced by up-to-date neuroscience. Turn your inaction into traction. The link's below. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. If this episode was useful, I would love for you to hit the like button and perhaps share it with somebody. For more tool-based, actionable, creative content, please make sure to subscribe. Also, if you have a question about creativity or the artist role that you would like to have answered, please leave it in the comments below and it may be featured in an upcoming episode.